Hey everybody, and welcome to the D&D podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about the 5th edition version of the Figher. Now, the Figher is an interesting class in the fact that it can be perceived as the least interesting. It's often what first-timers to the game decide to play as, because a lot of people say it's the easiest class to play as. I have been a fighter once, and honestly, I had a easier time as the barbarian. But for the sake of argument, let's just say that this is the easiest class. It's pretty interesting. You get different types of fighting styles. Also, it can attack more than any other class if you get to level 20. I think you get 3 extra attacks. You also get the Indomitable feature, which it's pretty cool. And Action Surge. I absolutely love Action Surge and the extra attacks. If you want to attack more than any other person in the game, then I definitely recommend you play Figher. However, as time goes on, the same thing with the Barbarian. When your other players are getting very powerful magic and other special abilities, you're still kind of stuck behind with just similar abilities. You do get other things as you go on, like get martial archetype features, which are different for whichever subclass you pick. Say you go Champion or Eldritch Knight. My personal favorite is actually Eldritch Knight because I think it makes the fighter a little bit more powerful in the way I probably shouldn't phrase it like that. Because in my mind, spells can become a lot more powerful than just a normal sword, and that is not nearly always true, especially when you have magical items and abilities such as extra attacking Action Surge. But I do like the ability to cast spells. That is my preference. Which is why I tend to go, even when I play Rogue, I play Arcane Trickster. But we'll get to the Rogue when we get to there. The Figher is very interesting, but it really depends on the subclass you pick. That really molds the kind of fighter you want to be. If you want to be the champion, if you want to have a little bit of magic as an Eldritch Knight, I know there's one more at least, the Battlemaster. There we go. I have actually I've read all of them, but I've never had anyone play as a Battlemaster. I've never played with one. Most of the people I know that have played Fire usually choose Champion or Eldritch Knight. So when it comes to Battlemaster, I don't have too much information on that. But overall, they're usually pretty tanky. They can wear all kinds of armor, which most classes can't use heavy armor, but I do like that fighters can. It really gives them more of an advantage to play as them because you can soak up a lot of damage. Especially when you also have a shield with heavy armor, your AC can be as high as 20, which is insane. And they do have quite a bit of versatility when it comes to what kind of weapons they can use. Not as much as some other classes. I think they only have simple and martial weapons, but that still covers a lot of ground. That's sorry. Now, one other thing about Figher I want to talk about is the Gunslinger. I find this very interesting, and I know it's a lot more recent than the original Player's Handbook, but the Gunslinger really interests me because it kind of adds almost like a steampunk twist to D&D. It doesn't as much interest me as the abilities, but it does as what it means for the lore of D&D itself. That guns are a thing, and you can use them. But not only that, but a fighter with, let's say a gun with 6 shots in it. He could probably, with the regular action, the extra attacks, and the Savage Attacker, You could unload quite a few bullets into an enemy per turn, and a bullet does a lot more damage than a sword. Or in most magic, if I'm being honest, with the exception of spells such as Fireball, Lightning Bolt, stuff like that. But, well, actually, depending on the kind of gun you use, if you unload, say, 5 bullets, say it's 2d6, it could rival some of those spells for damage. And that's all in one turn, which is pretty impressive. And I do know about the new Unearthed Arcana, the PSI Knight, and the Rune Knight, though I have not really read much about them. Like I say, I don't often play the Figher class, but I have played with several people who have, and on early levels they are really good to have, especially when you get to level 5 and you get that first extra attack and you can have 3 actions at once with the action surge. Something I should probably mention about action surge, though, it gives you another action, but you only have 1 use per long rest. It's either once per long rest or a short or long rest, but either way, it's not like you can just use it over and over again. But it's still very useful, very helpful, and overall it's not a half bad class. Like I said, it's not my personal preference, but it's still pretty good, and I'm sure any fighter could kick the crap out of my druid in hand-to-hand combat. But that's about all I have to say for the Figher. I hope you liked this video. Give me a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Let me know if there's anything I could be talking about on this channel, and I hope you all have a good day. Until next time, roll well.